This just in, an Amber Alert has been issued for a 1-year-old out of Franklin County, Tennessee. It's where we start. I'm Kenesha Dees. Lily was last seen today in Winchester. She's pictured to the left. She's believed to be with her mother, Casey Hill, who does not have legal custody of her daughter. They're believed to be traveling in a blue 2017 Kia Sportage with Tennessee tag number 384BQBJ. Take another look at that tag number. If you've seen Lily or Casey or have any information about their location, contact the Franklin County Sheriff's Office at 931-967-2331. Dr. Anthony Fauci declining to testify before a Senate committee about the COVID-19 pandemic and the nation's response to it. The hearing, led by Senator Rand Paul, came after Paul released more than 1,000 pages of Fauci's personal diary, which he claimed showed discrepancies between Fauci's private notes and public statements. The senator has long argued that Fauci should shoulder the blame for the COVID pandemic and the nation's response. During the hearing, Fauci repeatedly invoked his Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination under questioning from Paul.
The committee will have to consider after this hearing what appropriate action should be taken against you for the failure to testify after being directed to do so. It's against the law to obstruct an investigation of Congress. There will be repercussions to your refusal to testify today.
Fauci, who received a pardon from former President Joe Biden, says he was following his attorney's advice and accused Paul of seeking to see him behind bars. State politician also reacting to today's hearing. Alabama Senator and Republican gubernatorial candidate Tommy Tuberville, an outspoken critic of Fauci and his role in the management of the COVID-19 pandemic, spoke on Newsmax today, pledging to pursue a state criminal case against Dr. Fauci if he's elected governor.
Hopefully in the next 6 months, I'll be the governor of the state of Alabama. And I promise you one thing, we will find out if there's a possibility that we can bring him to Alabama to put him in front of a court and a jury to see if we can put this guy in prison.
Shortly after his TV appearance, he posted to X accusing Fauci of lying to Americans, saying, quote, Fauci lied endlessly while tens of thousands of Alabamians died from COVID. His lockdowns devastated our children's social and educational development, and we still don't know the full side effects of the experimental vaccines that Americans were forced to take. He should leave today's hearing in handcuffs, end quote. Meanwhile, Senator Paul says that the committee will vote next week whether to hold Fauci in contempt for declining to answer questions. He did not say whether he would push for criminal contempt referral to federal prosecutors or another charge. Yes, the heat, the sun, the humidity, we felt a lot of that, even with some cloud cover today, as you see here in Harvest. But you mix that all together and you get an Alabama summer. No surprise there. Definitely felt it. Looks hot. Fox 54's Weather Impact Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman in the studio with our forecast. Jordan, yes, hot and humid. We know that. No surprise. But will that rain return?
Yes, the rain is definitely going to return to North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee. It'll return just in time for the end of the work week. And then, unfortunately, as we head into the weekend, we'll talk about that in a little bit. I want to start off by talking about the heat indices. You're right. For the most part, it is a typical July day across North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee. It is not near as hot or hot feeling as it was yesterday. Look at this. Heat indices currently hanging out in the mid and upper 90s. At times, they kind of been bouncing back and forth, kind of up into the lower triple digits, 100 to 102. That's very typical for this time of year. I want to put this into a little bit of perspective, though. Heat indices this time 24 hours ago were 112 or 113 degrees. So a vast improvement over a short period of time. Now we're going to switch gears and talk about something else. Live look from the top of Montesano. You can see it here really well. You can see it there in that view from Harvest we just showed you. There's a fair bit of haze hanging out over the city of Huntsville. How long is the haze going to stick around, or is it going to be the rain that'll take it away? We'll discuss in a couple of minutes.
Members of Alabama Task Force 3 are back home after spending a week in Texas helping with devastating Hill County flooding. The 9-member team initially deployed to join relief efforts before being relocated to Texas. Team leader Ryan Hambrick tells Fox 54 the deployed crew included members from Coleman, Fort Payne, and Guntersville, while Decatur, Madison, and Marshall County Emergency Management provided logistical and administrative support. Hambrick described his team's experience while helping those in Texas.
Alabama Task Force 3 was deployed to Zapata, Texas, which is south of Laredo on the border. We were deployed there because of flooding threats from the Rio Grande. We did get to pair up with Missouri Task Force 1 and get to work alongside of them, and they are a federal team. We got to get some boats in the water, got to get some guys out to look at a few areas of possible concern. And so overall, it was a very good experience for our team.
Hambrick says all members of the task force have safely returned to their respective departments across North Alabama and are back on normal duty. Good news there. Well, the Hartselle Police Department asking for your help. A murder investigation underway for a 59-year-old man. Mark Wardrop was found dead inside his apartment at the Hartselle Villa Apartments on Lane Road June 18th. Detectives say his death was the result of homicidal violence. Police believe Wardrop was last seen the afternoon of June 17th and are asking anyone who saw him or noticed suspicious activity near the complex between June 16th and June 18th to come forward. Anyone with information is urged to call the Hartselle Police Department at 256-751-4915. Huntsville Animal Services is once again at critical capacity level, with officials warning the shelter is running out of space for incoming dogs. The shelter is at level 3 overcrowding. Officials say stray dogs entering the shelter no longer have open kennels available, and stray hold areas are also running low on space. Officials are encouraging anyone considering adoption or fostering to take action. To help more pets find homes, HAS will also be joining National Clear the Shelters Month, hosting patriotic-themed adoption events while waiving adoption fees and offering promotions on select dates. Learn more on FOX54.com. Governor Kay Ivey honoring the life of an Alabama teenager whose battle with cancer inspired people across the country. Will Roberts died last Thursday after battling stage 4 osteosarcoma, a rare bone cancer. He shared his journey online while seeking experimental treatment, drawing support from thousands of donors nationwide. In a proclamation made today, Ivey called Will a courageous young man whose faith and determination inspired countless people. Will's funeral will be held Saturday, August 1st, the same day now officially recognized as Will Roberts Day across Alabama. The Huntsville City School Superintendent spoke with FOX54 following the loss of one of their own. Dr. Clarence Sutton reflects on the passing of Chapman Middle School Principal Donna Peavy. The school district tells us she died Sunday. Peavy dedicated 22 years in education. She earned both her bachelor's and master's degrees in secondary education at Alabama A&M University and her associates at Calhoun Community College. She was 50 years old. Sutton reflects on her impact not only at Chapman Middle School, but who she was beyond her role as an educator.
So Ms. Peavy was a dynamic administrator, a mother, a wife, and just a good friend. And we would get through it together. And so I thank you for support. Continue to support us as we recover and try to move on. You never fully recover, but you can continue to keep that memory alive and continue to make an impact like she did. And that's our goal.
The assistant principals at Chapman Middle School say counselors will be available to support anyone needing help processing the loss. The cause of Peavy's death unknown. It is back to school season, and today we head out to Limestone County to see how the district is preparing for the upcoming school year. As the fastest growing county in the state, more families means more students. Fox 54's Logan Alexandra Russell caught up with Superintendent Dr. Randy Shearhouse, who shares the district's latest expansion efforts.
The start of school is just around the corner, and Limestone County Schools is ramping up its preparations for the 2026-27 academic year. And as more families move to the area, more students than ever are joining the school system. Superintendent Dr. Randy Shearhouse says the district is already preparing for the steady rise on the east side of the county.
It's going to be a couple-year project at East Limestone High School. The east side of the county is growing, and we want to make sure we have room for our students that are coming in to East Limestone High School, and so we're building some additional classrooms.
In addition to the expansion efforts, Dr. Shearhouse says the front entrance of the school will have a new look as well as the classrooms.
We're also renovating the facility, so the front entrance will have a new look. Classrooms are getting remodeled, new lights, ceiling tiles, but it is a 2-year project. And so right now it looks like it has a long way to go, and it does.
But even though the population is increasing, there are no current plans to build any new schools in the area.
Right now we have enough room space to accommodate what we need. We're actually going to start building on at Creekside as well. We're going to have an addition there. And so with building on here at East and Creekside, I think we can accommodate the growth for years to come.
Dr. Sherrow says, as a reminder, the first couple of days of school are always busy, so be sure to allow extra time during drop-off and pickup, and as always, have patience. In Limestone County, Logan Alexandra, Russell, Fox 54 News.
Dr. Sherrow says the district only expects to grow by about 50 students this school year, but they're preparing for years to come. Limestone County school students return to class August 6th.
To have this kind of continuous loop is really unique.
Yeah, folks hit the trail with more good ground at the Tennessee River Greenway. An extended trail unveiled for the hikers, cyclists, and joggers. We'll take you there. Immunizations can be scary. Parents, we've got some tips to help your kids through their appointments ahead of the school year. Your Wellness Wednesday is next. School starts next week for the majority of the Tennessee Valley, and for those walking through the doors for the first time, they need to show they're vaccinated for multiple diseases. Those vaccines include DTaP, polio, MMR, and chickenpox. This Wellness Wednesday, Fox 54 spoke with state health officials and local doctors to learn why these vaccinations are so important for students.
As a pediatrician of 49 years, I can say that I have seen a lot of diseases go away in my career as the result of successes of immunizations.
Dr. Karen Landers with the Alabama Department of Public Health made it clear vaccines can help save lives, and as your kids prepare to head back to school, that needed certificate of immunization helps stop outbreaks. Dr. Alexandria Anderson, a pediatrician with Happy Health, says immunization isn't just about one child.
It's important because a lot of the times when you are exposed with multiple kids, everyone has their different medical conditions, right? Not all kids can be immunized for whatever reason. So it could be because they have some form of medical condition that prevent them. So the kids that can get immunized, then it offers what we call like a herd immunity. So just recommending vaccines is good for you, but it also is good for the others who are unable to get vaccine.
If you have safety concerns, Dr. Landers tells us the vaccines have been in use for more than 70 years.
When we look at the overall effectiveness of vaccines, again, they're generational vaccines. They've been around a long time. They have a good safety profile. A lot of the parents probably took these vaccines themselves because, again, many of these vaccines started to be given in the 50s and 60s.
And parents, We know it can be nerve-wracking for kiddos to see and feel those needles. Here's some advice.
Seeing your baby cry, like it can be traumatizing, obviously for the child, but for the parents. So just to give them the comforting measures, like, hey, if you see the swelling, if you see the redness, this is what you can do. It does offer them some form of comfort. And honestly, popsicles they're cures for everything. A child can be crying, you give them a popsicle, and all of a sudden, they're good.
Yes, check out our full interviews with Dr. Landers and Dr. Anderson right here on the FOX54 app. Foodies rejoice! Huntsville Culinary Month begins in a few days. We have a taste just ahead. And Jordan, will rainfall return to the Tennessee Valley soon?
Yeah, we are eventually going to get some rain to build back into the Tennessee Valley. Not right away, though. We're going to spend the next couple of days dry, but there is rain in the forecast. We'll talk about it in a couple of minutes.
County 911, what's the address of your emergency room? Okay, your wife is in a bar. You said she's unresponsive.
This is what he's going to tell you.
How to get out of that situation.
And I grabbed the gun.
Trying to find the first place to put a body.
No, sir. The only thing they could do was kill him.
You want to say anything? We, the jury, and to find the defendant.
Huntsville is kicking off its annual celebration of its restaurants, known locally as Culinary Month. As part of that celebration, local restaurants will be offering special deals, featured dishes, and limited menus during the month of August. But the biggest highlight comes during Restaurant Week that runs August 14th through the 23rd. Organizers of the festivities say they want everyone to come out and support local businesses while getting a taste of Huntsville.
We'd like to celebrate our diverse culinary scene each year, and we like to shine a spotlight on what Huntsville, Madison, and Madison County has to offer. That is actually the whole reason we do this, is to try to encourage people to come out, support the local restaurants, support our restaurant scene in general, and then to try something new.
Oh yeah, a full list of participating restaurants available online. In addition, check out the Rocket City Dish Pass app for even more special deals. Although it doesn't feel like it, it actually is cooler today than it was yesterday. Take a look over at Governor's Drive. You can see the sky looks a bit hazy, like yesterday too, but definitely different as far as temperatures and how we felt.
Yeah, if you're just stepping outside for like a couple of minutes, I think you're going to be like, yeah, Jordan totally lied to me. But if you spend, say, 5, 10, or even 15 minutes outside, then you kind of think like, oh, yeah, I'm not soaked in sweat already. So an improvement.
Yes, we can go with that.
Exactly. We're going to continue to run with that because we're going to mostly focus on the heat indices because that's the big change day over day. Temperatures this afternoon, air temperatures were, yes, a couple of degrees cooler compared to what we saw yesterday, but the big change is in the heat indices. Yesterday at this time 24 hours ago, we were talking about heat indices 112 or 113 degrees. Today, what a difference. We're talking about heat indices in the mid and upper 90s. That is a drastic difference. That is a drastic improvement over the course of a 24-hour period. But now I've got something else to talk about. Live look from the top of Montesano, incredibly hazy over the city of Huntsville, and we're not the only ones talking about the haze. As a matter of fact, it is hazy across all of North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee. Now, you can take the degree of haziness and kind of put it into 3 different categories: moderate, unhealthy, or hazardous. Everybody's sitting in the moderate category. What does that mean for you? Well, for the most part, and for the vast majority of the population, it means absolutely nothing. It means if you step outside, the sky just simply isn't going to look blue. The only people that the haze impacts when it's in that moderate category are going to be those that are extra sensitive to the poor air quality. And if maybe you fall into one of those groups, just spend a little bit of extra time inside. All of the haze is coming from wildfires across the Pacific Northwest, Washington, Oregon, and then back into portions of Idaho. Those folks are talking about a number of different wildfires that is producing a lot of smoke. Now, the winds, the upper level winds, are kind of out of the northwest, coming from the Pacific Northwest across the upper Midwest and then down into the southeast. Those northwesterly winds are kind of bringing all of that smoke down into North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee, and then even portions of Tennessee and Kentucky and across portions of the Midwest as well. Very similar to what they were talking about across the Great Lakes last week, but the air quality is just not as bad. No rain in the forecast as we head into your Thursday, so that's not going to fix the issue. Small opportunity for rain as we head into your Friday. That really wouldn't fix the issue either. As a matter of fact, the rain we get on Saturday isn't really going to fix the issue. We're actually going to get a change in our wind direction. So the rain is kind of independent of the air quality. Healthy opportunities for rain as we head into both Saturday and Sunday. Rain chances stick with us Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. Not talking about any rain this evening, and then we're going to stay dry as we head into the overnight and then through Thursday morning. Some cumulus clouds develop as we head into Thursday afternoon, but those aren't going to result in any rain either. As a matter of fact, we're going to continue to talk about a mostly clear sky through the overnight and then early into your Friday morning. Friday afternoon, for the most part, is going to be rather uneventful, but then Futurecast tries to bring in a little bit of rain to the Tennessee Valley as we head into Friday evening. I think it would come later, probably after 9 or 10 o'clock at night, and then kind of stick with us through the overnight early into your Saturday morning. A couple of scattered showers and thunderstorms are going to remain possible through Saturday afternoon and Saturday evening, some of which could pack a bit of a punch, bringing some pockets of heavier rain and maybe some gusty winds. Have a good look at the next 7 days, a pair of 89s both Thursday and Friday. Now we do get cooler as we head into the weekend. Honestly, the weekend forecast is not that great. I know that's unfortunate because for many of us, it is the last weekend of summer vacation. 85 and 84 Saturday and Sunday with the scattered showers and thunderstorms. We hold on to the opportunities for rain next week. Temperatures 85, 87, 88 Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
Huntsville residents can now set foot on a 15-mile continuous loop as part of the latest extension to the city's Greenway network. The Tennessee River Greenway extension opened today, runs from Redstone Road to Green Cove Road in South Huntsville, connecting you to the Aldridge Creek Greenway, Ditto Landing, and the Tennessee River. From walking to biking to even a day on the river, officials say the Greenway provides an attractive place for exercise.
To have this kind of continuous loop is really unique. We had a lot of bikers out here today. They were excited about it. I've talked to people who have already biked it, even before it was paved and it was all bumpy, because they don't get that kind of safe access right through the middle of nature. So it's just apparently a marvelous experience. I'm looking forward to trying it myself.
Yeah, and if you're interested in trying it out, you can find the new Greenway right next to Redstone Arsenal's Gate 3. Mo, what's happening on the Hill?
Well, starting signal caller Quad Brown receiving some preseason love before camp begins on tomorrow on the Hill. More on that next in sports.
Fox 54 Plus has your news, sports, and weather. Start your evening with Fox 54 at 5:30, delivering the latest headlines and live reports straight from the scene. Then stay informed with Fox 54 News at 9, featuring your Tennessee Valley certified most accurate weather impact team, tracking everything from tornado threats to traffic delays during severe weather. Fox 54 Sports Extra brings you more of what sports fans crave, with deeper insights, expert analysis, and all the action that matters most. On Fox 54 Plus, you'll also find Alabama politics, plus 24/7 weather radar and real-time forecasts to keep you ahead of the storm. Looking for a quick recap? Don't miss Fox 54 Week in Review, highlighting the biggest stories of the week. Jumpstart your morning with Morning Rush. Fast-paced news updates featured with uplifting stories from across the globe. Get your entertainment fix with Getting Real, where we break down movie reviews, top 10 lists, and spotlight the newest film. Die Hard fan? Locked On Sports dives deep into the Crimson Tide, the Tigers, college rivalries, and pro action. True crime warrior style? Killer Cases brings you gripping real-life stories that stick with you. Hungry for more? Cooking with Style serves up mouth-watering recipes that are easy to make and impossible to resist. From movie previews before you head to the theater with Take a Look to must-know headlines from across the region and around the world with In the News. Watch all of these shows on demand and also on the Fox 54 News app. Available on Android and iOS devices. Streaming 24/7.
Alabama A&M senior signal caller Cornelius Quad Brown IV. Well, he is going to be a part of a special mix when it comes to Alabama A&M because he's receiving a lot of preseason love right now before they go into camp. That's right, Brown has already been added to the Stats Perform preseason HBCU National Player of the Year watch list. Last year, he threw for 1,060 yards and 7 touchdowns in just 4 full games of action before being ruled out the rest of the season with a leg injury. Now he needed another waiver of the NCAA to get another season on the hill, and now that it's approved, Brown is ready to show the world why playing quarterback at Alabama A&M is such a special thing.
And it's just an honor and a privilege to represent this university and play quarterback for this university. A lot of kids, a lot of people dream of doing what I'm doing, and I couldn't be more grateful for the opportunity to do it. Couldn't be more grateful for the opportunity to lead such a special group of men. I think we got so much talent on both sides of the football. We got a lot of guys that love the game, that love the process, and we've been working hard. And like I said, I couldn't be more blessed and privileged to be in the position that I'm in.
Of course, we'll see Quad Brown and the Bulldogs in action for this year's MEAC SWAC Challenge to kick off the season. Bulldogs taking on Howard on August the 29th. Kickoff in Atlanta is set for 6:30 p.m. From the gridirons to the greens, former Alabama golf Trey Mullinax has been suspended by the PGA. This week he tested positive for a banned substance and he'll be out of action until January the 16th. Mullinax says the positive test came after using a medication to treat a previously existing medical condition. Now coming up tonight in sports at 9 p.m. on Fox 54, we'll take you to the NFL. Various training camps taking place across the country, including right up the road in Nashville. Kanisha.
Yes, Mo, coming up tonight at 9, the state of Alabama honoring an Alabama teenager whose battle with cancer inspired people across the country. What the state is doing to remember Will Roberts. Democratic gubernatorial nominee Doug Jones back in North Alabama for an unscripted town hall. Fox 54's Valentina Jalala hears the community's concerns before the November election. And the city of Madison calling a special city council meeting on the agenda includes amending a proposed lodging tax. That's also coming up tonight at 9. Fire crews in Utah captured dramatic video of a towering firenado as crews battle a growing wildfire at the Fish Lake National Forest in Utah. The massive vortex of flames and smoke was spotted by firefighters who described it as an example of extreme fire behavior. The phenomenon developed as the White Belt 2 fire continued to burn through the forest. I mean, I guess it has earned its name Firenado.
It has.
I've never seen anything like that.
I have heard of them. I don't know if I have ever seen them, and they do look very intimidating because they stand out much more than the rest of the wildfire, which of course is in of itself intimidating, but then there's that, and it looks like something out of a sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, I'll just say this. It can't be that easy to fight that either, you know, especially with the ash and the fumes and everything else going on with it. So getting close to it can't be great, right, Jordan?
No, wildfires are incredibly hard to fight. I got really distracted because Kanisha's phone's ringing right now, and it distracted me. Quick look at the next 7 days.
I'm not going to answer it.
I don't know. Well, I mean, you can call them back. Quick look at the next 7 days. 89 both Thursday and Friday. We do begin to see temperatures drop off as we head into the weekend. We also bring about opportunities for rain as we head into the weekend. Rain chances stick with us as kids head back to school.
All right, thank you for watching. We'll see you tonight at 9.